Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am so glad that you're joining me because strength training is so important for women over 50. However, many women over 50 are reluctant or hesitant to begin strength training. And so, what I'm going to share with you in this video is how you, as a woman over 50 who is just starting her strength training journey, can begin using resistance outside of your own body weight. And that is with resistance bands. So let's get started. All right. I went and got my resistance bands because I wanted to show you and tell you a little bit about them before we get started, because I'm going to show you 3 different exercises that you can use as you start off using resistance bands. And so here I have 4 resistance bands. They are different because each band has a different resistance. Resistance bands are just like your dumbbells, just like your machines, and that you can adjust the resistance. So, for example, this blue band has a different resistance than this red band. Their resistance will go from more on the easy side to more on the challenging side. The key is to choose a resistance band that's challenging for you. The same idea as when you use dumbbells or when you use barbells or even when you use machines. You always want to challenge yourself. Okay, I'm down on the floor because now I want to show you the first exercise. The first exercise is called a banded back row. And just as its name implies, it targets your back. So it really is going to strengthen the muscles in your back. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a resistance band. Here I have a green resistance band. For this exercise, you want to focus on having and using a resistance band that has a high resistance, and usually the bands with the higher resistance are going to be thicker. So you want to use a thick band. Why? Because your back muscles are pretty strong. So you want a band that challenges your back muscles. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your band and you're going to wrap it around a sturdy anchor. You do not want that anchor to move. And so what I'm using is a heavy couch, and the couch is also sitting on carpet, right? So I probably won't be able to pull this heavy couch along this carpet, right? So I have my band wrapped around an anchor. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull far away from my anchor. Now, remember when I said you wanted to have a high resistance? 2 things here. Number one, I have a band that's thick, so it's going to provide resistance. The second thing is I'm pulling far away from my anchor so that, again, that also increases my resistance. Now, with your banded back row, you're going to hold the handle in each hand. And then what you're going to do is bring your knees up so that they're at a comfortable position for you. You're going to sit straight up, and then you're going to pull the handles toward your waist. When you do that, I want you to focus on a couple of things. Remember, this is a back exercise. So I want you to focus on squeezing your back, keeping your shoulders down, and pulling those handles toward your waist. Notice also that when I do this, my elbows are just about under my shoulders. If I can get my elbows beyond my shoulders, behind me, then that means that I'm either not sitting far away enough from my anchor, or that means that the band is not challenging enough. So this is the banded back row. Again, you're going to squeeze your back as you pull the handles towards your waist, and you're really going to feel your muscles working and your back getting stronger. That's the first exercise. Let's get ready for the second exercise. All right, our second exercise is the banded chest press. Now, if you notice, I still have an anchor. I still have a sturdy anchor. That will not move. The only difference is now my back is towards the anchor, whereas for the banded back row, I was facing the anchor. So now my back is towards the anchor. I also adjusted my bands. So you want to keep in mind that you make adjustments for your resistance bands, your dumbbells, the weights that you use on the machines. You make adjustments as you change muscle group, as you change exercises. And so now for the banded chest press, we are working the front or our chest muscles, and I'm going to be pushing away. So I've made the adjustments. I now have the anchor behind me, and now I'm going to grab a handle in each hand, and I'm still going to keep my knees up. Keeping my knees up helps take some of the pressure off of your lower back. So that's why I work with my knees up in both the banded back row as well as the chest press. With a handle in each hand, I'm going to, again, sit away from the anchor because I am pushing out, right? I'm pressing out. And so I have to make adjustments. So that felt a little easy. So I'm going to go a little bit further out, and I'm just going to do a test press. And that felt a little more challenging. And so with the chest press, you're going to press away. And when you press away, you squeeze your chest muscles as you're pressing away. You return to starting position and you press away so that you want your elbows to go straight and you want to keep your shoulders down. And this is your banded chest press. So in the first exercise, we were working our large back muscles. This exercise, we're pressing and we're working our chest muscles. Now I'm going to show you another exercise using the bands that works your lower body. All right, the final exercise is called the banded Romanian deadlift. Now, before I pick up the bands, I want to show you the movement of the Romanian deadlift without the bands, because you really need to know the movement before you add the resistance. So I'm going to stand sideways and I'm going to show you this move. With the Romanian deadlift, you're going to hinge at the waist and you're sending your hips behind you. And when you send your hips behind you, you're going to feel a pull right here in the back of your legs. That is called a hip hinge. Let me show you again. For your hip hinge, you're going to hinge at the waist, send your hips behind you, feel the pull in your back of your legs, and you're going to keep your head, your neck, and your back aligned. You see how my head, my neck, and my back, they work as if they are one piece instead of three different pieces. All right. Everything is aligned. Okay. And I don't want to arch my back up like this. So I'm not bending over like this. I am actually hinging at the waist. Head, neck, and back are aligned. I feel the pull. And then in order to bring my torso back up, I'm squeezing my glutes right here to bring my torso back up. Well, when you add the resistance band, you're going to feel more resistance as you hinge over, and then you feel the pull and you squeeze your glutes to come back up. All right. Here's what it looks like when you add the resistance band. So from the front, you're going to stand on the resistance band. Now, this one is going to be a bit different because for my other exercises, I actually held the handles in my hand. This time, I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to go right under the handles, and then I'm going to stand up. Why? Because that allows me to get more resistance. So now, just standing like this, I feel the resistance of the band pulling. So when I do the Romanian deadlift now, at least the banded Romanian deadlift, it's going to look like this. I'm going to hinge at the waist again, keep my arms straight, feel the pull in my legs, and then squeeze my glutes to come back up, and I feel that pull in the resistance. Let me show you what it looks like from the side. All right, from the side, here we go. Again, I want to hold the band just under the handles, and then I'm going to stand up. So this is my starting position. Now what I'm going to do is the same thing that I showed you before. I'm going to hinge at the waist, send my hips back, keep my arms straight, feel the pull in the back of my legs. Once I feel that pull, then I'm going to squeeze my glutes to bring my torso back up to standing position. When I come back up, I really feel the resistance, and that's where the challenge comes in. Let me show you one more time. I'm going to hinge at the waist and send my hips back. I'm going to keep my head, neck, and back aligned, keeping my arms straight, and then I'm going to bring my torso back up as I squeeze my glutes to do that. That's your banded Romanian deadlift. And that exercise challenges your lower body, mainly your hamstrings right here, the back of your legs, as well as your glutes. I also wanted to let you know that because that exercise works your lower body, you will more than likely need a thicker band or a more resistant band because your lower body, your legs, and your glutes, they're pretty strong. So you want to get a band that's going to challenge you. Okay, everyone, if you're reluctant to start your strength training journey with dumbbells or weights, I recommend that you start with resistance bands. Remember, you've got 3 exercises that I just showed you in this video that you can begin with. And also, don't forget, make sure you have a set of resistance bands. You want a set of resistance bands because you want some resistance bands that are less resistant or thinner, and some that are more resistant or thicker. This will allow you to have a challenge because your larger muscle groups are going to need those thicker bands, whereas your smaller muscle groups may require the thinner bands. Listen, resistance bands are a great way to begin your strength training journey. They are very user-friendly. And then once you become familiar with the exercises, once you get comfortable with using resistance outside of your body weight, then you can pick up the dumbbells. And you can even combine a workout program with your dumbbells with your resistance bands. It works, trust me. I have 2 different programs with bands. One is called Strong Over 50 with Bodyweight and Bands, and it's an entry-level strength training program. And then another one is called Stronger with Dumbbells and Bands. It's a 10-week program that moves you from resistance bands only into using dumbbells and resistance bands. So if you're curious and you want to give it a try, go get yourself some resistance bands, do these 3 exercises, and let's get strong. That's all for now, but before you leave, don't forget to like this video and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you will get all the information about women over 50, getting strong, and staying fit. Thanks for being here.